Hi, these are my fundamentals of chipping. So, grip. There's certain grip matchups, okay? I'll tell you one grip I'm not a huge fan of, but it can be worked with, okay? And I'm not going to be able to get into every matchup here, so there's going to be some generalities, but we can work within it and get some questions if you have any. But I don't like seeing this grip for chipping, okay? I don't. It makes it hard to open to keep the face open like we want, chipping and pitching, so I don't like to see it. If you have to keep your left hand there, I'd rather see you get your right hand over to weaken that quite a bit, okay? It's one grip I don't like seeing. It can be done, but we have to do certain matchups to make it work, okay? So, I want to make this really clear. I have a real long series on this so you guys can get, but I want to make this very clear. Chipping and pitching here, this is about 35, 40 yards in, depending who you are and how hard you can really go at this, but this is not the same as your full stroke, okay? Look at this, it's completely different. This isn't a shortened version of your full swing like I was told when I was young, and that's why I sucked. It's completely different. So we're gonna start off different by setting up very close. Feet close together, we're gonna splay this foot out, okay? This foot's gonna come a little bit in, so our knees are kind of pointed a little bit that way, okay? Now, we want the ball, we don't want to get open with our body. A little bit open is okay, but not hugely, okay? I want to level my shoulders out so they're pretty level. So you hear people say get your weight on the left side. Well, if you level your shoulders out, feel that, you're going to feel like you're on your left side more. And the foot's splayed out. Why do I do that? So it makes it easy for me to turn through, okay? When I hit this, I need to make sure I turn through, and I want you holding your finish if this is new to you, okay? I'm going to go over the number one deadly sin, okay, that I see in this chipping is right here, the stroke behind, okay? I would practice, if you're new to this technique, with this on the ground at all times. You have your target line. This is going to go parallel to your target line. Do not let your club get behind it. You see, it's on my hands, not behind my hands, okay? Why do I want that? If I start getting this club back here, where does it want to come down? Behind me. It's just natural forces, folks. If I come back here and I turn, and naturally wants to fall back here. If I'm here in my hands, I turn, it naturally wants to fall here. Here, I turn, it naturally wants to fall ahead, okay? So I want to do this so there's not that much work. I want to get it out here, let it start dropping and turn, okay? So the stroke, or what we feel like we're doing here, is we're going to get toe up on the way back basically and have this face more open on the way through, okay? Now, the way I want you to feel about this is we're coming back, we're tossing this underhand, okay? You're gonna feel like it's this underhand toss that you're doing. And we're staying real steady, okay? We can't have movement back and forth. We wanna be real steady over this. I try not to move at all, basically. In the backswing, I'll just stay over it kind of like this and then just turn on the way through, okay? Now I wanna match this like, hear that sound, folks? That's what it's supposed to sound like, okay? That's when you know you hit it just as you're intended to. So if you have a launch mount, you look for low point and stuff. When you hit it correct, you'll know it'll just slide underneath, okay? And you can even hit it behind a bit and you'll be okay if you have the right technique, meaning we're not driving this in to the ground, the leading edge. Now, I play it middle to front, depending on height I want. The only time I'll play it back is if it's in a depression or something, or some kind of silly shot I'll play that's different, but otherwise it's stock shots middle to front. You just want to feel it kind of on your hands and just kind of more, and we're just kind of going down and getting it back to where we started. So if let's say I have 5 degrees shaft when you start, I need to get it back to about 5 degrees. Okay, then if you see us, it's kind of pointing at my belly button, right? It stays pointed at my belly button as I come through and I come off, okay? So I come back here, I get it to here, and then it stays pointed at my belly button when I'm coming through, okay? We have to turn. So if I boil this down and say what's important in our chipping and pitching here, number one above anything else, we have to brush this grass. I call it thump the grass, okay? But most people, it's brush, okay? We have to brush this grass. If we don't, I don't care what you do, none of it works, okay? So your number one priority, no matter what, is brush this grass, okay? Then my number one is thump, the next one I call turn. So it's this, it is thump and turn. So hitting the ground is the thump and I turn, okay? Because if I don't do those two, I'm in probably pretty big trouble, okay? Now, I added in something else with back here, but I can be back there and thump and turn and probably still get away with it most of the time, but not all the time, okay? And I want you guys to hit it great all the time. So I have my thump and turn thought, okay? You know, my problem is I will get it a little behind me at all times, but you know, I see pros still practicing with stick down every time. I still do every time with it. I just want to feel like it's just a nice little turn, okay? I'm staying very steady over the ball if you notice, okay? I'm not shifting backwards at all. I'm just staying here. If anything, when the club goes back on the tour, they actually go a little forward and then rotate around that. It's anything to make sure they're clipping the ball nicely. We don't want to go backwards. We're going to start catching this heavy, and that's the last thing we want. Okay, now I'm going to end on this, and I know this is a lot in a quick, brief introduction here to chipping and pitching, but it gets you started, okay? And if you have questions, please ask me. The next question is, I get how far do I hit it, and how do I know how far? Some say clock system, do this. You know, I've never liked that system. I've never seen anybody good at it unless they have tons of time to practice, like some pros teach. They can go here, but they practice it. They'll hit 100 shots from here with 3 different clubs, so they know how much each one goes. You take an amateur that never hits balls and tries that, it doesn't work, okay? So just go out and practice and get used to one of your clubs, okay? And just see what it is. But let's say I want to hit this one a little harder. What do? Do I go do I go higher with the club? No. What I do is I feel like it's just here and more rotation. Okay, I'm going to feel more speed in my, basically I'm going to feel like my belly's turning quicker and have my arms and hands kind of just match it, that turn, if that makes sense, okay? So I would feel if I want to hit this a little harder, more of this, okay? And it's all pace. If I want to go really short, I'm still going the same height, but like this. So it's basically just tempo, okay? So I don't know if you noticed that. So that first one I hit, I think it was 30 yards. That one was backing up at 57 yards. So I doubled it by that move. Now I wouldn't do that this long with this kind of technique at all for me. I don't like going that long. I don't need to. I have other ways of doing it. But we just want to judge. We just want to adapt. Now that went hardly anywhere, but you see how my tempo is this different there? So what did that one go? That was 14 yards. So I just slowed it down, but you see I'm always coming about here to here. Same distance of stroke from here to here. And I'm just adjusting the speed of it, okay? Practice this technique and you'll find out it's fun. And once you feel like you get the basic down, you know, kind of in the middle, start moving around up to the front. Middle front or whatever, and just start playing around with club face by opening it a little more and having it up front and see what you can do, okay? Remember, the ultimate spin when we're creating spin is getting clean contact and doing this well, having a good ball and a nice good club with clean grooves, and it has to be pretty new, okay? So you have those factors in it, then you can do it. The reason most people don't create spin is they hit behind the ball, number one, and usually they don't have the clubs to match it. Their wedges are old. They got a new driver and very old wedges. So get some new wedges and learn to get nice, clean contact with that ball. And guess what? You're going to start spinning like crazy without even feeling like you got to do anything extra crazy to do it, okay? Well, thanks for watching. Erik Schjolberg, EJS Golf.